Ralph Dupas and Willie Pastrano. They were the last world champions New Orleans produced. Ralph Dupas was born in New Orleans October 14th, 1935. At 5 feet 8.5 inches, he fluctuated in weight between 135 and 154. Thus, he fought in several weight divisions. He succeeded in one. In 1963, he took the World Junior Middleweight Championship from Denny Moyer. During his career, Dupas fought 134 matches, winning 85 of them.
You know, the funny thing about Dupas is that in the amateurs, any number of those kids beat him. And I didn't realize until later on, Dupas was only 14 years old when he was boxing these kids 16, 17, 18 years old, and that's why he was getting licked. When he turned pro, at about 16, all of those kids that beat him in the amateurs, he beat them in the pros because he was coming into his own.
Before long, he developed a speed that earned him the nickname Native Dancer, after the Kentucky Derby winning racehorse. In the mid-1950s, while integrated fights were prohibited in Louisiana, a racial controversy was stirred. Dupas was forced to defend his race as Caucasian in the courts.
I think the Ralph Dupas controversy, in which Ralph Dupas was declared black or reclassified as a black when he had been, living a life as a white for some time, was a result of a siege mentality, diseased race relations, a desperate attempt by Louisiana officials to preserve racial order.
After much financial and emotional expense, Dupas won the Supreme Court ruling, which declared him white. His legal battle, however, never kept him out of the ring. He loved the fight game and continued in it until 1966. Losing his title in September 1963, just 5 months after winning it, was the beginning of the end. It was taken from him by Sandro Mazzinghi in Italy. 9 more fights followed. Dupas was knocked out in 4 of them. Some say he stayed around too long. The too many years in the ring resulted in chronic neurological damage. Like many fighters who win big and spend big, Dupas was often struggling for more money. Indebtedness forced him back to the ring. Still, when he left the fight game, he was broke. Neither has there been much glory in his retirement. Despite his sensational speed, classic style, and impressive record, Dupas has been overlooked historically by the great boxing entity, the Hall of Fame.
For the light heavyweight championship of the world, Pastrano.
Willie Pastrano, the man who would be champion, the man no one dreamed would win. The little fat boy from New Orleans, born November 27, 1935, turned pro at age 15. During the next 12 years, Pastrano fought 77 bouts until his big chance at the title came up in 1963. Pastrano fought to defend his title 3 times, successfully against Gregorio Peralta and Terry Downs. But in 1965, he lost it to Jose Torres.
What happened there with Torres, I didn't see that as the end of his career because it was no big deal. He lost to the best light heavyweight around, Jose Torres. But he lost, got hit a shot in the kidney and his legs gave out and it wasn't there and it was Torres' night. To me, every fighter has a given night and was not Willie's night.
Pastrano says it wasn't his night for a different reason.
I was double-crossed, and it was not right to do what I did. We can make something out of this, though. I can tell you about this thing. One day, it's involving drugs. I was set up, darling. I was set up, and it took me 3 days to figure it out after the fight. Thanks to my astrologist, she told me, she said, Willie, what did you eat before the fight? I said, I switched steaks with my manager. I made sure I didn't get the poison if there was any poison there, but the poison wasn't come from the food I ate. It was from what I took before the fight.
Or what was given to you?
What was given to me.
Torres hit Pastrano harder than any knockout. He never fought again.
Everybody says, boy, Willie Pastrano went from a little fat boy to light heavyweight champion of the world. It's great, But then a funny thing happened on my way back from the championship. I was really down on myself, very depressed, and I'd go to these drug dealers. Drugs and alcohol become a great crutch when it's over with. Because when you hate yourself and you're mad at yourself, you're your own worst enemy. And I guess I was just like everybody else. I was hard on myself. I was mad because I lost my championship. And I fell in love with that title. And of course I leaned on drugs and alcohol hard. very hard. In fact, for 3.5 years of my life, I don't know who I was. That's what I wanted. I wanted to forget. The drugs made me forget. It also made me forget my children, my wife, my mother, my father, you know, and it was not the thing to do. And with a lot of help and a lot of prayer, a lot of hard work, I was able to kick it.
Pastrano's road to recovery was not easy on him. He spent months of hospitalization locked in an institution. Upon discharge, he still felt unprepared to face the world outside the ring.
I didn't know where I belonged, you know. I knew I belonged in boxing, but I kind of was a little lost, yeah.
For all the years of pain and economic struggle, Pastrano seemed to forget it all for at least one evening in October 1988.
In his outstanding career, he compiled 63 wins and held the world light heavyweight title from 1963 to 1965. A man who could fight with the best and looked like he never got hit. Please welcome to the World Boxing Hall of Fame, former light heavyweight great, the Wille the Wisp, Willie Pastrano.
The crowning glory of boxing, induction into the World Boxing Hall of Fame, came 25 years after Pastrano's championship title.